Hello, and so here we are today. We're going to spend some time using some different web editors and physical software that we can use to create a design for your business card. So looking here, one of my favorite apps to use is a website called Pixlr. I call it Pixlr. Some people call it Pixlr. So no matter how you refer to it, it's a fantastic way to edit some images for your social media or create something for print like business cards. So the first step is to go to pixlr.com, pixlr.com, and you're going to choose one of three things here. Now, the Pixlr Express, this is a good editor for making quick files and fixes to different social media, as well as filters and whatnot. There's also a mobile app for it. The Pixlr-O-Matic version is also a web app or a mobile app, and you can use this to make vintage image look and feel to it. But the one that I typically go to first is the editor, and you launch that in your web application. Let's go ahead and click on that here. Now this video will show creating a new image, but you can also open an existing image, open an image from a URL. You can open an image from a library. So if you create a login with Pixlr, you can keep images in your library, and also you can use Pixlr on a mobile device. Now first we're going to create a new image. I just wanted to show you here, when creating a new image, you can start out with a title. I typically don't put spaces in my names of files, and I typically add a date to my files. That way I know when it was created, when I'm looking back through my files, or if I know that I'm going to have multiple images, sometimes I'll put the date in first, so that when they're sorted by date alphabetically. We have some presets here. We can use 800 by 600. But if you look in here, if you're making a nice little banner or some advertisements, they have the standard IAB sizes here in this that you can have as a preset. You can also do some movie stock imagery for you if you know what size of movie you're going to be utilizing. So for this case, we don't really have the exact dimensions. How are we going to know what our dimensions are? We're going to use our self-learning skills here to go to Google. And in Google, we're going to type business card sizes Pixlr. So here we go. We have lots of different ways to learn more about Pixlr and business card design. If we want to read about it here from Design Crowd, or go to Pixlr Academy, there's some great tutorials how to make your own business cards from 2013. That might be a little bit more dated. This one is also from 2013. It's a video. But Pixlr really hasn't changed too much in the last 5 years. Just a little bit on the interface. And so I would typically go here and watch this video. Now, for purposes of time, we're just going to mention that watching the video, I would take notes and realize that there's going to be some advertising that you're going to have to watch in order to understand what the model is for YouTube, which is to have you watch advertising in exchange for free content. In the video, you will also see that there's an image that you can download in the YouTube notes of the video. You can put that image in here. So let's say for this sake, we're going to make a business card, and Vistaprint has said to make it 450 wide by 290 tall. Let's say that's what it is. And you can choose transparent, or you can have it be a solid color. I'm going to push OK. So let's say this is our business card. The next thing you're going to do is create some layers. Now, if you've used any graphical editor for designing print, most of them use a methodology called layers. So we always have a background layer, but there's always a little icon here in Photoshop and in here, and I think also in GIMP, where there's a little turned corner on a page. And if you hover over it slightly, it says new layer. We're going to create a new layer. And we're going to choose one of our tools. Let's say we know obviously we want our information. So we put in our information. Now obviously it looks like it's coming off the screen, so we're going to change our size to be less than 30. That looks about right. And we know that we want our color to be some sort of blue. And we push OK. We push OK here. Now let's say this isn't where we want our name to be. We want it in the corner. We can make sure we grab our layer that has our text. Grab this little pointer tool. We can move our layer. Let's say we forgot to put in our address and our phone number, and we wanted to put that in on the same layer. You can select the text tool and click near it, and there it comes up again. And if we push enter, we can type address line 1, address line 2. Now let's say that we wanted to put our website, but we wanted it to be a different font and a different size. We could just type somewhere else, and it automatically creates a new layer for us. www.thisismysite.com. Let's say we want it bigger. Oh, that's too big, we decided. Okay, we want to move that. Let's say we have an image that we want to put into this business card. We can go to File, Open Image. And we can go and search for images we've purchased through iStock. Let's try this one here. Now this image is, most images from iStock are rather large, so we'll want to reduce the size before we put it onto our business card. Image size. Oh, yep, several thousand pixels. Our card isn't very big, so we want to take it down to, like, I don't know, maybe 500. And then we push the constraint properties, and that way it would do the height at the same time as the width. So here's our background of this image right here. So let's move it over onto our business card and see how it takes up the whole screen here. And we're going to move it back here. You can move layers above and below each other to have them seen. Lots of clicking. And then we're going to say, okay, close this image. We don't need it. Oh, let's save that again. Alright. Now, we can't see our text. So here's some quick and nifty tools for you. If you create another layer, and we take a shape, let's say it's going to be a rectangle, and we draw the rectangle, and now it's black, but we really wanted it white. The color code for white is FFF. It's one that I remember a lot. So it didn't change it, but what we can do is we can dump that FFF into that. Make sure we have it So it looks like we hit a limitation, so we just trash this layer. We start over again, create a new layer. But this time we make sure that we select the color of the shape before we make the shape. FFF, FFF. And then we find our shape tool. Says, do we want the opacity to be 100%? Probably not. We probably want some of that visual to show through. Do we want border size? Probably a 0. And should it fill the shape? Yes. So, great news. So we can create a little... So by adding a white image that's somewhat opaque and having the opacity at 51, you can kind of make that shape a little bit darker and help it to show that text a little bit better. So that's great news. There's some other palettes here. Add a layer mask. That's a little more advanced. Add layer styles. So I do like layer styles. If you wanted a drop shadow or you wanted a bevel, you could add it to whatever was on that line. Maybe we decide we don't like it. We take it off. Okay. Now did you see that when I had double clicked on the layer 6, I could actually name this the opaque layer. And kind of keep things organized. You can also toggle your layer settings. So if you had a whole layer that you wanted to make have opacity, you could do that. So let's do one that's a little bit darker. I'm going to add a layer. And we're going to put opacity at 75, maybe 83. We're going to choose the a color. We don't want it too dark, then we won't see our text. So let's say private company colors is a gray. Alright, and we can take our tool here, just kind of move it around. Let's say that that box isn't the right size. We could delete it and we could go on. But anyway, here's their business card. So there is a template on Vistaprint that was on that video description someone had put up into Pinterest. You can start with that image first and then just layer on top of it. You can look at images with and without a certain layer. And then you're going to save it as a file. And I usually save it to my computer in a JPEG and the best quality. And then send this over to your printer. Thanks for joining us, and we'll do more tutorials coming soon.